Just reacting post-match here at Kings Langley following this evening's 2-1 win here at the Orbital Fastener Stadium. Skip, excellent away performance from the boys tonight. 2 goals in the first 18 minutes.
Yeah, very good. Conditions were wet, pitch was heavy. You looked at it to start with and you're thinking, is the ref going to let it play, because the ball wasn't bouncing true, so the second bounce wasn't the best. They warmed up on it, he deemed it fit. We played against the elements. I thought we were outstanding for the first half, I really did. Some of the best football we probably played all season. We did all the basics right, we defended right, we won the first, won the second, played it on the floor. Yeah, and the second goal is outstanding. If the VO's got that, I know the weather's atrocious here, so whether it's been picked up on because there's water all over the screen, as you mentioned before.
Can't make any promises, Skip, I'm afraid.
Nah, well, don't then. That's a shame. That's goal of the season, but ain't getting that now. Can't see it. No, brilliant. Honestly, all round, it was a good performance. They're a very good side, and it proved it second half, because the second half we've got the wind, 2-goal advantage, and to be fair, they were better than us in the second half. So we've had to dig deep, and I think we deserved it overall, but they're going to probably think they deserved a draw. It's one of those. And what I will say on camera is that is football. They're both sides trying to play football. There was no surrounding the referee. There was no antics. There was no rolling around. It was just good to watch two sides go toe to toe and produce a spectacle for the fans there. They've watched a very, very good game of football tonight, in my opinion. So, yeah, well happy with everything, especially the result.
Obviously, we're going 2-0 at half-time, playing into the elements in the first half. Did it take us by surprise a little bit in the second half that we found it perhaps more difficult, or was it just a case of they came back into the game and made us work for the win?
No, I think I would say that, and we spoke about it as the half was coming to a close, that I think good footballing teams, it's more suited to play into that win. And I said going into these two, I said that it suited us first half and it suited them second half. It was always going to suit them, because first half, anything that's slightly overhit goes away, and you know, thankfully it rolled through to us in the first half, or we defended it superb. And second half, they did, you know, I guess probably the difference between the two sides was in the first half with the win, they possibly were a little bit open, they probably over committed and left us great opportunities to play in the spaces and the gaps between them. But second half being 2-0 up, we set the side the same, kept it nice and tight. You know, didn't really allow our back three to push forward too much. 2 fullbacks did the same, and so we were prepared to sort of dig in. I mean, first 5 minutes second half, I thought they just played superb, and we almost were too deep, and it results in us, you know, an own goal from us. And then we sort of got into the game, and I'd said to Skip again that if we can go 10 minutes before they scored, I thought that might be enough to sort of start knocking their confidence. But they got their toe into it. But then it was a proper, like Skip just said, it was a proper game, and you know, we had goals.
Do you think it was us defending deeper? Was that the contributing factor, or was it just the fact that we just had to hold our hands up and say they started the second half really well and put us under a lot of pressure?
Yeah, I think that credit to them. I think you have to give all the credit to them. They started the half superb, pushed us back. The goal was a cheap goal really, because Tom's tried to clear it, he's sliced it the opposite way, and in the end it's almost limped over the line. But you know, but I thought the second, you know, with the game with the elements, the second half would always favour them. However, we had the best chance of the half, because there was a ball to Alex late in the game, and you're expecting to finish it and go 3-1 up. So we've had a great chance, and we've had a couple of bits. One dropped the Tom in the box, you didn't get a connection. So we've had 1 or 2 opportunities ourselves, but the defensive display second half was unbelievable. You know, Fish in particular stood out, and Laurie, Kamani next to him, Luke down the left-hand side, Adam and Simo down the right-hand side, and then you get, the great thing is you get Tom Coles back today, who sits in the 4, and then when we do need to make a change, we put Ollie on, who we were trying to rest today, and I mean he's been a revelation, you know, Saturday and today. So it kind of, I suppose it in the end second half maybe suited us because we were prepared to sit in and dig in, and and
Did we perhaps get the reward today for the away performance that we put in that maybe we didn't get on Saturday?
and again maybe so, yeah, because I felt Saturday we defended brilliantly Saturday, and they get that one great. I mean, look, let's be fair. Ben down the right hand side, we don't do a good enough job on him, and he gets a great ball and they score from it. So they opened us up probably on that occasion, and maybe at that time we were, because we was having a lot of the game, possibly we were a little bit higher up the pitch at that time, and that's why he was able to get into get in behind us in the ball. Whereas today, James will probably talk about. I mean, he'd done a session last week on low block and defending these situations, and let's give him credit. That was unbelievable today, and sometimes you have to stand there and just listen to him because he's just pushing them through what they should and shouldn't be doing. They did it to perfection, and I have to say that the second half, it's a lot of pressure, and certainly I'm thinking, Christ, you're trying to see it through. But if we now watch it, the performance was outstanding. So I just look. I think our defensive performance second half deserved to see that over the line.
Speaking of defending, obviously we had Weddy back very briefly. What can you tell us about that? Obviously, it's a shame that he had to go off because he was actually playing really well. And did that sort of have an effect on us from then on? Because we seemed to be dominating the game up until that point.
It was a real shame to lose him at that point, but I think it's more precautionary because of how long he's been out. So, I mean, he started amazingly well. First, almost every ball, the interceptions he was making was brilliant, and the headers, anticipation of stopping the attacks were brilliant. So I think he certainly disrupted it a little bit because we had to then shuffle the pack, as you do when these things happen early on. And I think it did disrupt the rhythm a little bit towards the back end of that first half. Albeit, though, I guess we got 2 goals in that half, and we had the conditions sort of that were suiting our play. And I think tonight was a brilliant advert for the football in this league, because Kings Langley played some brilliant football, and I think, to probably sum up what you two have said, I think we capitalised in the half and the conditions and got the 2 goals, and could have maybe had three to the good at half time, and ultimately Kings Langley played the better football in the second half, but didn't quite manage to get the goals that we did. So I think that's probably my summary, and I think I have to say Fisher, Rani, Laurie, a couple of blocks that were
Bondi, very
fantastic. So it was just a really good performance.
And on that note, enjoy your evening, gents, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah.